I would venture to say that the disability community is one of the remaining outlying communities that's out there that doesn't get a lot of attention and sort of energy when it comes to the discrimination and some of the things that happen in an environmental kind of barrier, an attitudinal barrier aspect of things.
But it's really the cities and the spaces that I don't feel that I belong in, and it's really most of Canada. I mean, the accessibility of Canada, of the world, is so problematic, and that's why I moved from Sarnia, Ontario, to London, Ontario for my undergrad, but then I moved to Vancouver because it's one of the most wheelchair accessible cities in the country, likely in the world. But you know, when I go to a place like Toronto, it's just everything there is screaming at me, get out of here. We don't want you here. 90% of the buildings are not accessible to me. I can't get a taxi easily. I can't take the subway. And so it's these structural systems that make me feel unwelcome. And to compound it even more, you know, people aren't deliberately trying to exclude in the day-to-day.
I definitely felt, when I was ski racing, I definitely felt like I belonged, because with our group, you know, having all the different disabilities, everybody was sort of on the same level playing field, where we felt, you know, safe and enjoyed ourselves. But I think as I look now towards the built environment, we've definitely had some really major missteps in regards to architecture and how we build spaces and how people move within those spaces and how people feel if they're warm or not warm or welcomed into that. So for me, my, you know, biggest thing was to bring that to the forefront and try to mitigate those issues, or try to address, or, you know, make sure that as we move forward in the built environment, that these things don't necessarily continue to happen. And that, you know, I love my independence. I truly strive on my independence. And for me, I want to be able to go places. I want to be able to enjoy life. I want to go and have fun with my friends. I want to go to a sporting event. I want to show my friends sporting events. And when we've got these barriers that are preventing people with different abilities from attending those events, that's when it becomes a problem.
Why hasn't this already been solved 30, 50 years ago? I mean, everybody knows that there are people in wheelchairs in our society. It's time to stop pretending otherwise.
So thrilled to see that so many more organizations are starting to introduce things like diversity and inclusion committees and employee resource groups, so that everyone has a sense of belonging. And it's not just the visible disabilities, but it's also the invisible things like mental health challenges. And this is something that is so prevalent now, especially because we're at homes running our businesses or participating as an employee in our businesses.
The issue is, we're moving to a space where we're designing at the very forefront of the discussion how we're trying to move to a design process that allows for resilience, encompasses individual health, community well-being, and how that intersects. And those are the conversations that have to happen at the very beginning of the conversation, in terms of the consultation and design processes moving forward, and not the ideas of building more vertical structure, because actually that's not resolving the issues that we're facing today. It's actually just like monuments are being taken down. It's just confirming that hierarchical structure. So we're learning a lot of great lessons from COVID-19, and that what a lot of architects are watching right now, and is that in 3 months they're trying to tell the world that all of a sudden we're changing and how we're changing our design process. What we need to be able to do is being able to lift that conversation, to be able to talk about the issues around accessibility, what that looks like in a health and well-being model as well, weaving the cultures and diversity. So one, we have healthy community and legacy, but secondly, we are ensuring that each person, based on their ability, is meeting their true potential.